Hi everyone. Yeah, welcome back again. I will walk you through a question in paper 2, May June 2022. A question on 2D arrays. And I'll walk you through on how to solve that problem so that you can learn from the way I am able to solve this problem. Okay, now let's start question number 8. Don't forget your insert before you solve this kind of problem. Make sure your insert is readily available for you and you already understood how to use the insert. So your inserts has functions, the string manipulations, the left, right, mid, length, and so on. Likewise, the string character function. So I hope every one of you can use this insert properly, with the date function, the text file function, the operator. So don't forget your insert when you want to solve this kind of problem. So let's go back to the problem. So the question states, a program allows a user to save passwords used to log into websites. A stored password is then inserted automatically when the user logs into the corresponding website. A global 2D array secret of type string stores the passwords together with the website domain name where they are used. Secret contains 1000 elements organized as 5 rows by 2 columns. Unused elements contain the empty string. This may occur anywhere in the array. An example of a part of the array is array element value, secret 27.1, this website, secret 27.2, dot dot dot, 28.1, that website, 28.2, dot dot dot. Note, for security reason, the passwords are stored in an encrypted form, shown as dot 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 in the example. The passwords cannot be used without being decrypted. You may assume that the encrypted form of the password will not be an empty string. The programmer has started to define program modules as follows. Module description exists, takes 2 parameters, a string, a character, performs a case-sensitive search for the character in the string, returns true if the character occurs in the string, otherwise return false. Encrypt takes a password as character of type string, returns the encrypted form of the password as a string. Decrypt takes an encrypted password as character of type string, returns the decrypted form of the password as a string. Note, in the case-sensitive comparison, A is not the same as A. Write pseudocode for the module exists. Now, the first time you are going to read this problem or read a question like this, you may not fully understand everything that you have read. So I will advise you not to waste your time reading over again. Because you may read this 20 to 30 times and still not understand anything. Okay, so my advice to you is just to underline the most important information. If you find yourself not understanding this or find it difficult to understand a question like this, don't panic. It is something you can solve. It is something you know how to do. You know about arrays. You know about 2D arrays. You know about 1D array. But no question will just say declare a 2D array, declare a 1D array. No. Questions will not come as easy as that. Question will come in this form or even more complicated like this. It will come in form of critical thinking and problem solving. So when you see a problem like this, don't waste your time reading 100 times, 200 times, because you may still not understand. So my advice for you is underline the most important words or the most important information you can get from this and answer the question. I hope you understand that. So let me go back. I've read the question, I've read this instruction once. Let me go back to read again why I now underline the most important information. It says a program allows a user to save passwords used to log into website. That is, we want to save passwords, okay, that is used to log into websites. A stored password is then inserted automatically when the user logs into the corresponding website. Well, I don't understand that. Let me put that aside. A global 2D array secret of type string. That means there is a 2D array that is global. Global means the array can be used in any function or procedure. So I don't need to declare the array. That is what it means. So if you are told that an array or a variable or an identifier is global, that means don't worry about it. Okay, it can be used in any of the functions or procedures. So I don't have to declare any array because it is a global 2D array. If it's an integer, if it's a global integer, you don't have to declare the integer. If it's a global string, you don't have to declare the string. It means it can be accessed in any of the functions or procedures in that code. So now, this 2D array is of type string. I understand that. That is a 2D array. There's a 2D array. There is a global 2D array of what? Of type string. Okay. Now, 2D array means it contains what? Rows and what? Columns. So that means it is like this. Rows and columns. Okay. But I don't know the number of rows. I don't know the number of columns yet. So it now says stores the password together with the website domain. That is, this array is saving two things: the password and what? And the website domain. Two things are being saved. Okay. Secret, which is that what? Which is that array, contains 1,000 elements. The total elements in this array is 1. That is the boundary of this array. Organized as what? 500 rows by 2 columns. That means there are only 2 columns. Only 2 columns. Column 1 and column 2. Where they are what? They are 500 rows. 1, 2, 3, up to what? Up to 500 rows. 2 columns, 500 rows. Then we should understand that. I hope you understand that. Good. Now, can you see I'm now breaking down the question, underlying the most critical information that is needed to solving this problem. Okay, whatever information that is not needed to solve this problem, use abstraction to ignore them. That is why you are studying skill of abstraction. So I've used abstraction to ignore the information I don't really need to solve this problem, and I'm using decomposition to extract the most important information is abstraction. Decomposition means breaking down of the problem. So now I haven't applied decomposition. I am still applying abstraction, trying to see the most important part of the problem or the most important information that is needed to solve this problem. Okay, and writing it in a more graphical form that I can understand, so I can solve this problem effectively. If I don't do this, I keep reading this over and over, I may not understand on the long run. Okay, good. It now says that this array is used to save all the passwords and what? And the website domain. Now, unused elements, that is, wherever password or website domain is not saved, that is unused element of this array. It contains what? Empty string. That means not everything is used. There are 1,000 elements. That means that is the capacity. Okay? Unused elements, those spaces that has no value is what? Is an empty string. This may occur anywhere in the array. We don't know where. So you have to note that any part of the array may be empty, whether password or domain. Now, an example of part of the array is this table. This table is not the array. Some students always think that this table is the array. No, this table is not the array. This table is showing us some part of the array. Okay, let's take a look at this. Secret 27.1, that is row 27. Arrays is always written as row by column. Okay, so this means at row 27 column 1 is the website domain. Row 27 column 2 is what? Dot dot dot. Okay, Row 28 column 1 website domain, row 28 column 2 dot dot dot. That means column 1 is for what? Is for domain. I hope you understand that. Column 2 is for dot dot dot. But what is dot dot dot? For security, the passwords are written in encrypted form shown as dot dot. That means this dot 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 is the password. It is the password. But the encrypted password. That means before you can read this, you must what? You must decrypt. Before you can save onto this 2D file, onto this 2D array, you must encrypt. That means if the password, for example, is Ismail, for example, before you can save Ismail as a password to this 2D array, it must be encrypted so that it is shown as dot 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 dot. If you want to access Ismail from this dot dot dot, you must decrypt it so that you can access Ismail if Ismail was the password. I hope you understand that. Okay, good. So for security reasons, the password are stored in an encrypted form shown as dot 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 in the example. The password cannot be used without what? Without being decrypted, because you cannot understand what dot 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 it means. You must decrypt to understand what dot 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 means. I hope you understand that. You may assume that the encrypted form of a password will not be an empty string. That means that whenever a password is encrypted, okay, it cannot be an empty string. That means an empty string means there is no password there. That is what it means. Now, I hope you guys understand that. So now, to some extent, I understand this information. I may not fully understand 100%, but with what I have, I can proceed. So you don't have to read again. You understand that there is a global 2D array that you don't have to declare. And this 2D array contains 2 columns and 500 rows, which column 1 stores what? Domain. Column 2 stores what? The encrypted password. And this password cannot be used except it is decrypted. That is what all this information is saying. All this information, that's what it's saying. Now we understand properly, okay? Now let's move forward. It now says the programmer has started to define program modules as follows. So these are 3 modules. Module may be a function or a procedure, okay? Number 1 is exists. The module exists takes 2 parameters, a string and a character. Performs a case-sensitive search for the character in the string. That is, you want to check this character if it exists in this string. Does this character exist in this string? But case sensitive. Case sensitive means small letter A is not capital letter A. Returns true. Of course, return means it's a function, it is not a procedure. If it does not return, it is a procedure. If it returns, it's a function. It returns true if the character occurs in the string. So if that character occurs in the string, it returns true. If it does not, it returns what? False. Now we understand what this module is. It's a function, it takes 2 parameters and it returns a boolean, isn't it? Now the second one is what? Is the encrypt. For the encrypt, it takes password as a parameter of type string, returns the encrypted form of the password as a string. Yes, this is a function. Decrypt takes an encrypted password as a type string, returns the decrypted form of the password as a. This is also what? This is also a function because it what? It returns. Now we understand that. The question has not asked us to write anything. At this point, you see some students writing. Please, what are they writing? You see them writing the code. What are they writing? The question hasn't asked us to write anything. Okay, good. Let's move forward. Then the question now says, write pseudocode for the module exists. Now we have to write the pseudocode for the module exists. So let's go back to the module exists. Module exists is a function. So that is the first thing you must note. It's a function. So you write the keyword function. Okay, encrypt. Encrypt. Okay. Oh, sorry. Not, is it encrypt or exist? Exists rather, not encrypt. Exists. The question says, the instruction says it takes 2 parameters, a string and a what? And a character. So let me declare parameter 1 as what? as string and parameter 2 as what? As character. Okay? And it returns a what? A boolean. Returns boolean. All this understood? So now that we've gotten that, performs a case-sensitive search for the character in the string. A string is a combination of characters. A character is only one character. We want to check if this character exists in this string. That means we must iterate through all the values in this string. For each character we take from this string, we check if it is this. If it is this, then it exists. If it does, if not, it does not exist. So I need to declare some local variable in this what? In this function. So let me leave maybe two lines of spaces for that. Okay, so the first thing I must do, don't forget your indentation, the function, the indentation, don't forget. Now the first thing I must do is iterate through all the value in this string. Then I have to start for count is equal to 1 to length of what? Of string. Because I don't know what the length of string is, so I need to use this function in the insert to return the length of string. So that means count is unknown, right? So I need to declare count as what? As an integer. So declare count as integer in case I have some other integers to declare data. This variable is local to this function. Don't declare it outside of the function. It must be inside of the function. I hope this is understood. So for count equals to length of what? Of string, that is, you have used this to iterate the number of times the number of characters the string has. For example, if the string is Ismail, for example, how many characters is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means this loop will loop how many times? 6 times. Okay. Now, you want to check if this parameter 2 exists in this string. That means I need to take each of this character. Then I have to write each character. Or let me say just each character is equal to, I need to take each character. So to take each character, I need to use the mid function in your insert. If you go back to your insert, you see the mid function. So mid string, the what? The position and number of characters, isn't it? So each character is equal to mid. Oh, this is wrong. Not length of string. It should be length of what? It should be length of the string is what? Is parameter 1, isn't it? So that will be mid of parameter 1. Okay. Starting from the count character and returning only one character. What will this do? This will take the string, the parameter 1 as a string, start as index what? Index 1, which is I, and return only one character. That is each character. Okay. So I want to check if this each character is equal to the what? Is equal to parameter 2 that was passed, isn't it? Then I have to write if each character is equal to parameter 2. Okay. Is it equal? Then if it is equal, that means it exists, isn't it? So since we are returning a boolean, if it is equal, if you go back to the question, it only says that exists perform a case sensitive search for the character in the string. You just want to check. Once it is equal, that is all. Okay. So if it is equal, just return return true. That is the end of the function. So return true. End what? End if. Okay. Then return, when the function hits return, that is the end of the function. So when it starts iterating, okay, if it is equal, it returns true. That is the end of the function. If it iterates to the end and it is not equal, then you have to get to the end. So this will be next what? Next count. So next count goes, that is, if count is equal to 1, it takes the value of each character. It is not equal, it goes to the next count, which is 2. Next count, 3. Next count, 4. How many characters do we have in Ismail? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So next count, so count is 1, not equal, count will be 2, not equal, count will be 3, not equal, count will be 4, not equal, count will be 5, not equal, count is 6. Now that is count is 6, not equal, that means that character does not exist in that string. So outside of this loop, then you have to what? You have to return what? False. Is this understood? So that means if it was found, return true. If it was not found, return false. If you go back to this question, everything has been answered. Then what is the next thing? Just end the function. Then end function. End function. That is all. It's as simple as that. How many marks is this? This is just 5 marks. So if you can write this in your exam, you have just gotten 5 marks. Now the next question.